All right, people, good evening. It's a bit lonely in here because I realize that nobody is coming to class. Not a problem. I'm still going to go through these slides. I think it's very important that you have it. I think I opened the wrong slide, so let me just come out of this. Go the wrong presentation, no problem. Oh, I think I got the right one, you know. It's the right one, not a problem. All right, so this is basically the wind down for the session, the last class. I'm going to recap the mobile commerce that was that I tried lecturing on last time. It didn't go as planned, and so I'm going to be just going over a few other sessions that, or a few other slides that we would have looked at in the last session. All right, so this is basically a quick definition of what mobile commerce is. As the slide suggests, it's the use of wireless handheld devices such as cellular phones, laptops, etc., to conduct commercial and business-related transactions online. So, as the name suggests, mobile commerce, it's basically putting or transacting business by use of your phone and other technology that has what you call mobile telephony. So here are a few uses of mobile commerce, or what persons actually pay for or do when they have mobile pay. So for the most part, they purchase goods, obviously. They purchase services, they purchase content, and they pay via their phone. So in other words, there are times when you have your mobile phone and you can use that to make a payment. Even when you go to the gas station and you're paying with a credit card, that machine that they use, that's a part of mobile commerce as well. Banks are perhaps the biggest users of mobile technology, from the machines that they have to the ATMs to the POS machines. All those elements, all those devices come under the whole notion of mobile technology. So here are some of the uses that banks embrace for mobile technology. Checking balance. So you can literally have your phone and you check your balance on it. I know for a fact that Scotiabank now has this mobile app that you can pretty much do everything with. You will see that in the next slide. Apart from that, you can check recent transactions, transfers, cash in and out. So when you go in the ATM machine and you cash out, or you deposit your check, that's part of the whole notion of mobile technology. And number 6 is mobile app integration. And as I alluded to earlier, this is the Bank of Nova Scotia mobile app. So that one on the left with the pure red, that's the interface that you would see when you just log on the phone. Here is the menu of all the options that you have access to. So the third one basically shows, balance notification, when a payment is made, transaction notification, security notification. And what I like about this app and other bank-based app is the fact that if anything goes wrong, you can literally get a notification right then and there. And that's the nature of the business. The other day, I think I alluded to it in the last class, a friend of mine, he had some bad transactions, well, not bad transactions, some fraudulent transactions on his credit card. Somebody got his credit card and racked up about over $200,000 worth of credit card debt. He didn't get a notification. So perhaps if he had gotten a notification, then and there, he could have either stopped the payment, stop the transaction, or do things like that. Unfortunately, that did not happen. And so, I think he's now going back and forth with the bank right now to find ways of sorting that situation out. So here are the attributes of mCommerce. So mobility and reachability, they are the foundation of mobile commerce. And why? Because once you have a piece of tech that allows you to be ubiquitous, to be all over, to connect, to be able to pay wherever you are, that is something that can only grow the platform, simply because you don't necessarily have to carry your wallet. You don't necessarily have to carry your purse. What you do, you have your mobile phone, and that stores all the cards and the transactions, all the things that you will ever need. The drivers of mCommerce now. Over the years, mobile technology has literally grown. And part of the reason is, one, the technology that sits at the basis of the phone, that has become more advanced over the years. The fact that everybody has a phone in their pocket. Some people have two. The fact that mobile phone is pretty much everywhere. Low cost for entry, different things that allows people and allows business to pretty much launch and keep their transactions and all their information, not only on the website, but they can literally sell products and services via their phone. So those are some of the things that have led to the constant rise of mCommerce. And the fact is, because everybody has a unit, because as the slide suggests, the cost of entry is rather low for most entrants, it has seen an exponential growth. So those are the things that have led to the rise of mCommerce. History of enabling technology. We mentioned that in the last class. So from GPRS, which is General Packet Radio Service, all the way to 5G technology, all these elements have sort of played a role in the rise of mobile commerce. And it stands to reason that, especially with 5G technology, as I alluded last time, this is only going to increase everywhere, especially in Jamaica. I mean, Jamaica tends to be lagging behind in terms of mobile technology. But at the same time, we're taking note. Our big brother to the north, which is North America, everywhere is mobile commerce, everywhere is mobile technology. So what is really happening is, sooner or later, all these things are going to overtake us. We already have ways of going to the gas station, paying with your credit card. We can stay on our phones and order something through Amazon. So all those things are only going to lead to the constant rise and further development of mCommerce here in Jamaica. Now, the limitations. Personally, I like to work on my desktop. So I prefer bigger screens. And that is one of the drawbacks of mCommerce. Sometimes smaller screens, the fact that there's not much security prevention elements on your phone, whereas on my desktop, all the antivirus, all those things that I need are literally on my desktop. So usability problems, technical limitations, security issues, those are things that you have to be mindful of when it comes to mCommerce, and they pose not necessarily a threat to mCommerce, but there are limitations for the growth. People are still skeptical in terms of how mCommerce, or in terms of embracing mCommerce. Now, mobile payment. Last week, I alluded to it. Earlier slides, I alluded to it. And there are 4 key players in the mobile payment ecosystem of sorts. The user, which is you, network operator, financial institution, and the content provider or the merchant. And below, as you can see, these are the issues that they face. So for the user, I am more concerned about security, privacy of my information, ease of use, and the devices that I can use it. From the network operator, he or she wants to ensure that the standards are open, interoperability, and roaming. In other words, if I was supposed to go overseas, I can still have the same functionality via roaming on my phone. So those are the things that network operators like a Digital and Line, they have to facilitate. Financial institution. we at times are faced with scamming issues, scamming news, and so there's a high level of um, skepticism. People don't want to be defrauded, and financial institutions also have to be mindful of those things. So when it comes to mobile payment, they're more mindful of authentication, integrity, and fraud reduction. All right, you don't want to go on your phone thinking that you have 500 US dollars and all of a sudden no money did it. All right, so you have to be mindful of those things. And for the persons that are, or for the businesses that are selling the products, whether it's Amazon, whether it is a local supplier or vendor, they want to ensure that they're getting paid. They want to still have mobile technology, still be able to accept credit cards, but they want to do it at a low cost and user adoption. Over time, they want more persons to be using this technology. And if they're supposed to make the investment in terms of getting the POS machines or all those things, it has to be worth it. They have to know that this is where the market is going, so they invest. Case in point, I alluded to this already a couple classes ago. Lorna's is a local restaurant, and for a while, Lorna's restaurant did not accept credit card or debit card, no form of card payment. I can only assume that they did not like the fact that when transactions are made, there is a transaction cost. I think it's 2 or 3%. So if you pay $500 or $600 for a lunch, fried chicken, curry, whatever it is, if you pay $600 with your credit card, they're not going to be getting the full $600. So they will be taking a 2 to 3% hit. That can't work. However, when I do go to buy food at Lorna's, I realize that out of every 4 persons in the line, 2 of them want to pay with a credit card. And so when they are unable to pay with that credit card and they move away, that's lost business for learners. So as my grandmother liked to say, half a bread better than no bread at all. So they are now embracing mobile commerce, and now you can go to learners, you can buy your peanut porridge, you can do whatever it is with your credit card once money upon it. So this is basically the payment process. From step 1 to step 6, you can see the chain of command, you can see the flow, the process flow. So Mr. Atkinson goes to buy something at Shoppers Fair or Megamart, accesses the bank app, goes around, ensures that from 3 to 4 to 5, there's some form of approval, authentication, access to his money is done. And so once the store owner feels satisfied that payment is made, you can go with the goods. And payment, this entire process lasts for about almost 2 or 3 seconds, because as soon as you swipe your credit card, as long as the line is not active, you see the printout coming. And I'm not sure about anybody else, but sometimes when you swipe that credit card, like myself, or swipe a debit card, and it takes a while to be approved, all of a sudden I'm like, I wonder if there's money on the card. Start sweat, especially if somebody right behind me looking, have their cash in hand, and just wondering, want to this brother man. I wonder if no money on the card. So those are the type of things that we go through as card holders. But at the end of the day, the merchant, the vendor needs to understand that they're going to be paid. And once that payment is approved, you're good to go. This is just another process, and this underscores the process of the digital wallet. So with the digital wallet now, similar to the previous slide, there just needs to be some amount of transaction approval. So with the digital wallet now, you top up your e-money or your mobile wallet. It sits on your phone, and with that you have access to paying for the t-shirt that you want. If you wanted to send some money to your wife, girlfriend, or kids, you can do that. Or if you just want to go to a bank's ATM and transact or withdraw money, you can also do that. So the process is fairly seamless. Again, once there's money on it, you have to find ways of topping up the card or topping up the e-money. And you usually do it similar to this particular case. So on the screen, you see 3 additional mobile wallet options. You have your Samsung Pay, you have your Apple Pay, and you have your Google Pay. All right. So with all of these now, they store your credit card or your debit card information. Credit card, debit card, the coupons, the rewards, all the things that you have, it is stored. So you're going to Old Navy, you pass your phone over their POS machine. As you can see with the video in the middle, that's what that gentleman is doing. He has Apple Pay on his watch. He just passes it over and the transaction is done. Again, very seamless, touch and go. As a matter of fact, nothing touching. And it's almost where the world is going right now, because this is almost like a no-touch device. So gone are the days when people are just fork out money and paying money for certain things. Right now, it's a no-touch situation. It's just spam, swipe over, you're good to go. All right. Not sure if Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, Android Pay, they're here in Jamaica yet, but I've seen it in Walmart. I've seen it in Old Navy overseas. I've seen it in all the malls. So for the most part, the technology, it exists, and it's something that is pretty cool. This slide just shows all the different mobile payment options that I alluded to. So when you go and you make a transaction online, part of that is the mobile technology as well, online. ATM payment, mobile payment straight from your phone, or the terminal payment when you go to buy gas. Those are some of the things that at the foundation, it is mobile commerce. Mobile advertising. And part of what I want to talk about is location and content. So geotargeting and geofencing. I think in the last class, there was some, not necessarily discrepancy, but there was a little confusion in terms of geotargeting versus geofencing. Now, geotargeting allows marketers to segment their target market based on where their customers have visited, then deliver content to them. So imagine Abigail goes to Linstead, Katie goes to Linstead, Roshane goes to St. Thomas. If I wanted to target the persons that have gone to Linstead, with geotargeting, I can send content there. So Roshane would not get the content, but Katie and Abigail, because they were in Linstead, they would get the content. The difference with geotargeting and geofencing is this. Geofencing puts a sort of radius around an area. So if I'm having a sale in Halfway Tree, I can put a geofence that spans a 2-mile radius around the area. Hold on a second. Yeah. Sorry about that. That's the nature of technology sometimes. You know, distractions just pop up. Anyway, as I was saying about geofencing now. So basically, I can put radius was not the correct word. I can put a 2-mile circumference around a particular area, and then anybody who comes inside that circumference is served an ad. All right. So geotargeting targets the persons where they have been. Geofencing puts a circumference around an area. So if I'm having a sale and persons need to know about that sale within a 2-mile distance, geofencing would be the option that I need to use. Digicel is big with this. Digicel is big with both the geotargeting and geofencing. And what they also do is they found ways of sort of cross-referencing the geotargeting with other segmentation data. So if I wanted to target persons that are in Linstead that use a Nokia phone or a Samsung phone, I can do that. If I wanted to target persons that I realize have been to UK over the last 2 weeks based off their roaming information, I can also do that. So telecommunications, because they have access to your data, they're able to find ways of geotargeting persons and cross-referencing it with other segmentation data to find the right person, which is something that with technology, it provides for more accurate targeting. So mobile advertising, as I mentioned, geotargeting and geofencing they work in tandem with mobile advertising. So with mobile advertising now, you can literally send advertising to persons in each area, in certain areas. Now, I know for a fact that wherever I am, I'll get a Digicel or a flow text saying that I should either top up or Sherwin-Williams is having a sale. Check them out right now. Click the link, things like that. Those are SMS-based advertising. I don't like them, but guess what? For some persons, they work. I hardly check my SMS bank. But you also have options where you don't necessarily have to send SMS. You can send ads. And the good thing with some of these ads is, one, there are different options. You have web posters, mentioned SMS just now. You have MMS advertising, mobile games, video games, audio advertising. There are different types of mobile marketing and advertising. What I've shown here is Starbucks in North America. Starbucks is big on that. So sometimes you're in certain areas, especially when you're in Manhattan and you're passing a particular Starbucks area. Depending on the time of day, you may be served with an ad, because to them, you might want some coffee, you might want a croissant. So they want to be top of mind when it comes to those type of things. So they serve you an ad. And as I mentioned in the last class, this is something that Digicel has the facility of doing. Mobile ads, mobile-based execution. You can literally play games. You can find ways of, if you're an advertiser, you can send different persons, different ads that allow them to watch your ad or allows them to complete a particular transaction before they move on. So imagine if you just launch a campaign, in this case, launching 876 campaign. And even though you're running a good commercial online, you want persons to watch it through their mobile phones. You may send them a watch and win ad, a watch and win mobile advertising. And what that will do is, after watching the ad, they are given a nice prize. Probably they're giving a $25 coupon for some credit or a $50 coupon, whatever it is. So there's an incentive at the end of the activity, which ensures that they go through with the activity. So again, those are some of the things that mobile commerce can facilitate. Those are some of the things that mobile advertising can facilitate. And I think that as budding entrepreneurs, as advertisers, you also need to understand what are the capabilities for mobile advertising. So you have access to it, you can run your business, and for want of a better statement, you can also facilitate boosting your awareness through some of these executions. So that was the recap for mobile commerce. I'm going to be sharing this slide in a few. And in addition to sharing the slide, you can also have this video. This video will also be uploaded. I wished a lot more persons attended the most important class. And this class is starting your business online. So people, you missed out. Nevertheless, still going through it. And you can call me, you can touch base, whatever the situation is. You can literally find ways of contacting me because it's a need to know basis. So eMarketer is a blog that you all need to subscribe to, follow, log in, find ways of just following what exactly they're saying about the whole e-commerce way of life that is about to just hit us in the face right now. Now, according to eMarketer, the global e-commerce industry is expected to grow more than 4 trillion by 2021. Now, people, this article was written, I think, in November of last year. Fast forward couple months, 4 to 5 months, or a 6. Anyway, with COVID or coronavirus, whatever you're gonna call it, it says 4 trillion by 2021. I don't know about you, but every time I log on the internet, there is some developer selling services to create an e-commerce website for you for a fraction of the cost. So this 4 trillion may in fact double at the end of 2021 because everybody's going online. All right. So for the most part, you have to get on board, find ways of putting your business online because this is just where the market is going. So here's a simple process. Finding your niche, finding what you love to do, finding ways of profiting from it. So one of the strategies that was taught in previous class, well, a couple of them, the blue ocean strategy, as well as the market gap identification. Those are some of the approaches you can literally use to find out, one, where niches are, as well as find out where there are a few areas that are not as competitive as before. But even if you find an area that is not competitive, at the end of the day, you have to want to do it. You have to find a passion in it. You have to literally, as the slide suggests, do what you love. So I'm using this example. Here's a student of mine, Miss Abigail Scarlett. Abigail likes to talk. Abigail wants to be the next Oprah Winfrey. Abigail enjoys public speaking. Abigail has found a niche that is sort of untapped, but very relevant. If you want to have somebody represent your business at a major function, do some of the public speaking, present on your topic, SPSS can be that business. All right. So not only has Abigail found her niche, she has found something that she enjoys doing. So kudos to her if she can really expand this business accordingly. What's your business model? No, you can't just cast a net. You have B2B, which is business to business. You have business to customers. You have consumer to consumer. You have government to consumer. What model are you gonna take? All right. So for me, I've done business to consumer for some time, but you know, sometimes when you're pursuing so much different consumers that have different interests, different way of life, it's sort of difficult. But a lot of retailers, that's where they go. If you open a clothes store, that is definitely B2C. B2B now, you're really focusing on a few, the target pool is smaller because there's less business than customers, even though the business really is a customer. But I really play what you call the Pareto principle, in the sense that when I do the B2B, it's highly likely that I'm going to get more profit, a bigger spend from a business than I would from a small customer / consumer. And that is why that was one rationale for me going B2B. But when the doors of the B2B close, sometimes you have to expand it a bit from B2B to C. You have to, yes, go to the business, but you have to open the doors to the consumer. That's the same. But the rationale for this slide is literally to choose the model that is right for you. And that segues into what format, if you're going to do B2C, what format are you going to take? Are you going to become an e-tailer, which is basically a retail business that sells goods online over the internet from their website? A content provider. So like Tuan, you know, if he wanted to sell his comedy or sell his music, he could probably monetize his YouTube page or find a website where persons can literally download his content for some money. A transaction broker, like a Fiverr. So with a Fiverr, persons can come on, and once that any transaction is made, you get a commission from that, or you find a market. So you will literally will open something like an eBay where persons can come, they can buy goods and services, they can literally sell in that basic area. So you have to literally find what your approach will be. And at the end of the day, you stick to one, or over time you can evolve if you need to. Very important, people. What is your revenue model? How you go get paid? It's yes, you can start a website. Yes, you can find ways of reaching out to people, but you need to understand return on investment too. How are you going to get paid? Because it comes down to not only finding your niche and what you love, but over time, if you're going to take on this business, you have to understand how the revenue aspect, how the income aspect is going to go. So here are 5 models. Let's switch up my camera a bit. Switch up my camera a bit. Hold on. Good. All right. So how will you get paid? 5 primary revenue models include advertising. So fees from advertisers in exchange for advertising. Subscription model, as the name suggests. So if you want to have content on your page, or if you're going to be doing some business and persons literally have to subscribe to get the information, that is how you're going to be paid. Transaction fee, which is fees / commissions for enabling or executing a transaction. The sales model, really and truly, people, that's my favorite. Because guess what? I want a phone. I go on the site. I see the phone that I want. I say, I'm selecting that phone. I pay my credit card. I use my credit card to pay. I get my phone. You get your money. That is sales. They done this up, right? So that is something that is just 1, 2, 3. Transaction, yes, you might get some commission, but commission might vary over time. If you set a maximum or minimum commission, you might be expecting that 5 or 20% each time a transaction is made. But sales is just cost of the goods. You have the goods that is there, somebody want it, they pay for that, they pay for that good, you get your money, they get their good. Affiliate model is something that a lot of digital marketers do. I'm not really a fan of it, but it is one of the primary revenue models online, so you can also consider that if you wanted to. Consider the fundamentals, people. And the fundamentals is this. Find a practical name. So you're going online, don't just name it Chanel Bailey Inc. Nobody don't know who Chanel Bailey is. Don't just name it Weddy Weddy Wednesday, because Jamaicans may know that term. But if you want to go global, people need to understand the culture and the name as well. Understand that your name is also something that Google looks at from a search engine optimization perspective. So there are SEO implications that you have to be mindful of. When I look at Alpha Mod, that was Shemai's company. Mod, for a car enthusiast, they might know the mod for modification. But if somebody is just looking generally, they may not pick up that mod means modification. And they may not, well, as his logo shows that there's a rim in the logo. But when you're searching on Google, you're not going to be seeing that rim. So you're not even going to be associating it with a car. Please Me box, I like the logo. The logo has a sort of seductive vibe to it. But again, if you're going to name your site pleasemebox.com, not everybody will be searching. If they want that service, not everybody will be searching with that name in mind. So Pleasure Me box is something that would be a little better, because if you're searching for that particular service, Pleasure may be something that you enter in the Google search window pane. Javon's logo, Event Planner, even though the logo does not say it, that is a remarkable name. So let's say he had a website called www.eventplanner.com. If I go on Google and I want an event planner, that's exactly what I'm going to search for. I want an event planner. The problem for Javon is this. I don't think that name is available right now, that domain name. It's too good. So rest assured, somebody already has www.eventplanner.com already. So you're up on your own with that, boss. Drinker's Paradise, even though that name is all right, Google may have a problem with you promoting alcohol intake. So that may be an issue for you, so you may have to change that name. Yard service is something that Jamaicans know, but the problem with that is it's not really a problem. No. The point that I was going to make, if somebody from Sweden wanted yard service, they would not be searching for how you have it spelled, Y-A-A-D. But again, for Dane's business, your business is really local. All right, so it's not like you're going to be doing business or cleaning somebody's yard in Sweden or England or wherever. Your service is localized to Jamaica, which is another thing, you know. Sometimes you have to think global. You know? So if you decided to expand and bring your landscape service overseas, it may be food for thought for changing that. Now, here's what you can do, Dean. You can build the brand so big that you can sell it as a franchise. So if you go on Google right now and search for landscaping franchise, you're going to find a lot of options that persons, even though they started local, they were able to sell the brand. It's like Juicy Beef. Juicy Beef is a franchised operation. So the person who started Juicy Beef may not be the person who owns the Juicy Beef in Bogwalk or Linstead. All right, that's owned by a local player. All right, so over time, you have to find ways of expanding your business. Jam traders, I know what the traders mean. I think the lower right one was for Twani's business. So logos are cool, but again, you have to also put in place and understand that there are several things to your brand other than your logo. The name is important. SEO implications, how persons are going to be searching, all those elements are important when it comes to coming up with the business name online. Here. Other fundamentals, registration and license. Now, you're starting a business online. Obviously, you're going to have to submit your sitemap to Google. That is one. But apart from the sitemap, Google has an option where you can register your business. It's called Google My Business. And Google My Business allows you to have a digital listing, which is very important. If you don't want to, if you're still online and you also want to take your business to make it have that credible position, I would also suggest you register it with the Office of the Company's Registrar in Jamaica as well. That way, if you wanted a government contract or if you wanted to do business with a major corporation, they're going to want to see that you're a registered business. So it's not just a Google My Business thing. If you want to take your thing to a different level, raise the credibility of the business, you have to also register it through the Office of the Company's Registrar again. I showed you Abigail's niche earlier. Now, there's no real registration or license or permits for a public speaker. Over time, your name becomes your brand and you're credible. But you have other associations that you can be a part of, like Toastmasters. If you are a Toastmaster, you may be able to put that on your website. If you are somebody that wants to promote your speaking skills. Personally, I've done small business consultant online, so I registered my business as an accredited small business consultant. I'm also a digital marketing specialist where I went to do the master's program, and that allowed me to get a certification which I can also promote on LinkedIn if I wanted to. So those elements sort of allow me to have that credibility, not only locally, but in the digital space if I wanted to. So I mentioned the digital listing through Google My Business. If and when you register through Google My Business, this is how your listing would come up. So as you can see on the left, it shows the different things, where I live, opening hours, those type of things. It also provides other areas or my other competitors in the space. You see Toucan, Market Me, Advertising, and Marketing Jamaica. And you can also go a step further because you can also register your business to other platforms. Angie's List, Foursquare, City Search, Yellow Pages Online. Yellow Pages has a remarkable way of also taking your local listings digitally if you wanted to. Local registration. So again, when you do the local registration, all I did here was just, I registered my business name. And this is how the certificate would look. I've scrambled out the registration number and everything, but for the most part, this is how your certificate would look once you become a registered business. The other part of not only going online, but really creating your brand is the brand personality, understanding the color scheme, understanding what the tones mean. All right. So stability, control, belonging, risk achievement, learning freedom, all of these things were taken into consideration when the brands around the circle were coming up with their color scheme. All right. So you have to find a way when you're creating your brand, what you want to represent and how you want persons to feel when they embrace or see your brand. Sources of products or services. Now, if you're going the way of a drop shipper, and that is, selling your products online, buying and selling products, those type of things, here are a list of different suppliers that you can get things from. AliExpress, very important, very popular. So they sell from a pin to an anchor, they sell from smart watches to bracelets, all those things you have access to. You also have some local suppliers. So if you wanted to just go to PriceSmart, buy some things and put it online if you wanted to, PriceSmart also offers some wholesale options, but rest assured, price match is not going to be as cheap as the other players that I'm showing here. Choosing the right platform, very important now. So guess what? You're creating an e-commerce website, you have to understand which platform gives you the functionality that you want. WooCommerce and Shopify are the ones that I use, but BigCommerce is also very important, and BigCommerce allows you to get some of the functionalities that the others may not be able to provide you with, and they integrate with your website right away. So all these options, once you're considering an e-commerce approach, these are some of the platforms that you can use. However, if you're like Amanda and you're not going to be selling online, you have to find a way to create a website that is still functional, still gives you all the elements that you want, being able to deliver the right information, having things like the contact us, those type of things. You still have to select a developer, a channel that allows you to get the functionalities that you want. Weebly, oh God, that name slipped me. WordPress, how can I forget WordPress? All my websites are WordPress. Those platforms allow you to create websites with most, if not all, the functionalities that you need. So ensure that you select right. So determine your requirements with your developer, ensure that you tell him what you want and when you want it, some of the expectations that you need. Get a mock-up. I know some developers don't like putting together a mock-up, but you need to see how the website is going to look. Some of them can send you some themes. Once you understand the themes, once you understand what is going to, how the layout is going to be, the look and feel, all those things, then you can sign off and move forward with your website. People, don't just broad brush and target everybody. I know it is very tempting to, but try to segment your audience. Try to narrow down who you're trying to target. Determine their key traits. The buyer persona, I taught you that in terms of coming together, putting forward the buyer personas that you want, and develop a sequential process of reaching and engaging the customers. That sequential process is something that I would have mentioned in previous class. You were also tested on it recently. Here is the sequential process. Determine your objectives. How are you going to measure your success? So don't just say, all right, I want to make some sales, that no work. Find ways of coming up with tangible KPIs. All right? Sales, conversions, how many leads you have, leads to sales, all those type of things allow you to see what is working and what is not. Then you highlight the digital tactics that you want to use. And then you can move them along the funnel. How are you going to let them be aware of your brand? You can use things like content marketing, search engine optimization, search engine marketing, that is really some Google ads. Those are the things that will raise their awareness. Once you get them aware, then you want to get them interested. So some nice landing page. So imagine they click on the Google ad for Pleasure Me box, and immediately they see the contents of the pleasure box. And once that pleasure box landing page is shown, you might see something that if you want more information, please add your name, telephone number, and email. That's a part of the landing page. So then and there, you start to understand what they want and the fact that they are warm leads, because now they're expressing an interest. After they've expressed an interest, now you start feeding them with other information for them to make that decision. Some might not make that decision then and there. Then you put together some other tactics for some action. So probably you send them a 20% discount off the Pleasure Me Box items, or 20% for quick music download on Twane's page. I think it was Runin, that was the name of your business. So those are options that will prompt or trigger a particular action that you want. And from there, you start using your KPIs to see whether or not those tactics work or they're not working. If they don't work, you adjust them or, well, adjust / update them accordingly. Ideation. Where do you get those ideas? So I've mentioned persons that are looking forward to starting their business because they already have the idea already. But other persons, they just don't know what to start. How I come up with my ideas is, one, look at the current trends. So everywhere right now, you have persons popping up because they're creating masks. Why they're creating masks? Because COVID-19 say everybody need to wear masks. So Mark Anthony, he has some more fashionable masks. You have other smaller players that are just putting together some little small, cheaper looking masks that I now go wear. I'd prefer wearing the ones that I get, the more surgical masks that once I wear them, I can throw them away. So with COVID-19, a lot of opportunities pop up. Masks, healthgear, courier and delivery service. Those are some of the things that are popping up right now. Everybody have a yang bike, and now him or she, they're going into courier service. Everybody can sew, so now they're trying to put together masks. And so they're just riding the wave of the trends that are existing now. Nothing is wrong with that. You also need to be entrepreneurs where you can be mindful of these trends. Other ideas, I look to Instagram. Check out these 3 Instagram posts. So food truck, that might not work now because nobody's out buying it. Coffee shop, bakery, those won't work right now. But how about digital marketing? How about web design? How about online tutoring? Those are some of the things that are aligned with the trends right now. Extra income ideas. Number 21, deliver pizza. No, we already have Domino's to do that. How about creating content for persons online, like being a graphic designer? That one is almost recession proof because once you know how to, once you're a really good graphic designer, you're able to sell your content anywhere in the world. And then the other slide speaks of business, which is a really good business right now, which is drop shipping. Drop shipping, channels like Shopify allows that. And if you have a particular niche, all you need to do is find a good supplier. Once you find a good supplier, you create a really good Shopify site, and you embrace the whole notions and best practices of drop shipping, you can start selling those mats. All right? So find ways, understand the trends, and guys, just see how best you can get your side hustle on. This is the time for it. Gone are the days where you could just sit back and, you know, wake up 6 o'clock in the morning ready for work. No, you have to recession-proof your life. You have to find ways of not only getting extra income, but finding ways of ensuring that those income can be expanded to other revenue-generating ideas. So that is pretty much the end of this class. I definitely wish you guys were online. I think I could have expanded a little more, but guess what? You're probably at home working on your e-business strategy. So good luck with that. That's going to be the last assessment. So stay safe. And until I see you guys again digitally, take care of yourself.